You're right there, Mark back here with another video for you Fyreslayers out there. Episode 10, going through the Age of Sigmar 3.0 book. Today is going to be on the Magmadroth Heroes, which I think is one of the big draws to Fyreslayers, okay? What other army allows you to ride around on lava spewing, magma spewing salamanders with a rage filled dwarf on top? Alright? So if you want to follow along, the war scrolls are going to be on page 76. Alright? Let us crack on here. So we've got the three different ones. You got the Father, the Son, and the runesmiter. I did want to do the Holy Spirit. I don't know why. So we've got three different entries here. Alright? So the basics. All Magmadroths have gained 2 wounds. They've gained 2 attacks with their blazing more, the mouths, which is great because previously I loved them. I was trying to play them, but they didn't have enough presence on the board to make sure they didn't fall over to a stiff breeze or be a threat. They were neither one or the other, but now this is given a great opportunity. The range attack has changed now, so it isn't mortal wounds. Okay, it's um, it's reliant on the amount of models that they're attacking. So the way it works is the attack sequence of the roaring fire stream is equal to the number of models in the unit to a maximum of 10. In addition, if you don't use your roaring fire stream, say turn 1, turn 2, you increase its rend by 2, which is great. So say for example, the main one is roaring fire stream, 9-inch range, 10 attacks. You'd be hitting on 2s, be wounded on 3s, regular rend 1, 1 damage. Alright, but it does degrade as the Magmadroth takes hits and wounds. Okay, so that's just great. But instead of mortal wounds, this is just chaff killing, which is really, really good. And if obviously turn 1 you may not be within range to use your fire stream, so turn 2 when hopefully you are, you're going to be rend 3 on it. It's great. The other basics you've got, the bleed ability is still the same. So their bleed ability is still for each wound that they suffer on a 4-up, the attacking unit suffers a mortal wound. The lash and tail, yeah, it doesn't degrade on the actual profile anymore. The lash and tail, at the end of combat, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 3 inches of this model. If the roll is equal to or less than the number of models in that unit, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Simple as that. Alright, it doesn't degrade, which is great because I don't understand why it needed to. They have gone up to a 4-up armor save instead of a 5, which is great. And their movement has stayed the same. So it starts on a 12 and it degrades as it goes down. So across the board, they've had nice boons, which is great. Extra attacks, extra wounds, extra movement, not extra movement, sorry, extra armor save, extra, it's just really, really nice because they weren't scary before, okay? Okay. Now, let's crack on with the Auric, runefather, and Magmadroth. So, he doesn't have the weapon breaker rule that he used to have, and he doesn't have the stare ability. Weapon breaker you could on a 6 damage an enemy weapon, an enemy like hero's weapon, and so on and so forth. Stare, you'd stop them doing stuff. They were great abilities, but they're very nuanced, very niche, and a lot of the time I would forget them, and they wouldn't come up. But now he has gained uh, Lords of the Lodge. Okay, which once per battle at the start of your combat phase, you pick one friendly unit on the battlefield with this ability to unleash the wrath of Grimnir. If you do so until the end of the phase, add 1 to the attack characteristic of melee weapons used by the Fyreslayers units only within 12 of this unit. That includes himself. So now he has got 5 attacks with his Grand Axe instead of 4. The Brazen Maw has 4 attacks instead of 3. And the Claws and Horns have 7 attacks instead of 6. You can have Grimwrath Berserkers near him. You can have Volkites. You can have every single unit that's wholly within 12, and they're on a big oval base, get an extra attack. That's pretty nice. That, you know, I'm not going to moan at that at all. Not going to moan at that at all. So, you know, as I've written there, in early game when you got big units, use it. Proc it straight away when you've got the best opportunity to do it. It's just amazing. All right, that is a great opportunity. And then, as I've shown in previous videos, you've got all the traits that you can give the runefather, and then the magmadroth traits on top. It's just great, great synergy there. And for 360 points, can't moan. All right, they have all the magmadroths have gone up in points. Okay, they all have, but I think it is valid. The runeson on magmadroth is 340. Now, they have lost their battering ram ability, which was mortal wounds on the charge. All right. They now longer have their variant for glory has changed, because it used to be if there was another runeson within range, they'd reroll hit rolls of 1 because they're both trying to prove themselves to the runefather. Okay. So it's now changed that unmodified hit rolls of an attack made by this unit that targets a monster is 6. That attack causes a number of mortal wounds equal to the damage of the weapon that was used, and the attack sequence ends. This ability has no effect on the attacks made by its unit's mounts. Okay, so it's only whatever the sun does. Okay, so you've got the worm javelin, which is D3 damage. You've got the throwing axe, which is 1 damage. You've got the ancestral war axe, which is 2 damage. You've got the javelin, which is D3 damage. So, you know, you can potentially proc a fair few of these. With the ancestral war axe, it's got 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, wound on 3s, rend 1, 2 damage. But then if you have the runefather nearby, oh, he's got an extra attack. Not bad at all. I think he's just really good now, because you don't need, previously with the runesons, to make the best out of their abilities, you wanted 2 together because then they would help boost one another. It was quite a fair few points. Now you can have a runeson on his own. But on top of that, in Lofnir, runesons on magmadroths are battle line. It's just great. It's genuinely really good, and I'm really happy that they've done this kind of stuff. They've got the same stats: 16 wounds, 4 up armor save, 8 bravery, same movement, same claws, everything like that. The javelin has got a 12-inch range for range, 1 attack, 4s, 3s, rend 2, d3 damage. In melee, it's range 2, 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, rend 2, d3 damage. So they're all great. They're all great. They're not overpowered at all. That's why I don't think they've had to been FAQ'd or rated till now. They're just really good. So let's crack on with the last one, which is on page 78, which is the Auric runesmiter at Magmadroth, coming in at 320. So, everything is pretty much the same, except for they've lost their once per game aura of +1 to their armor save to people and units within a certain range. I think it was 12 inches, where basically he would eat an gold nugget and then be like, all right, everyone's now got +1 to their armor save because it's all been imbued and embellished and blazoned and all this glory. They lost it. All right, they've lost a lot of their save stacking. All right, that was one of the great things they had before. You just have him slap bang in the middle of the army and just go, you're not going to get me. But they've lost that. The iron yes, the runic iron is no longer an actual weapon now, which is a little bit annoying because it used to be quite funny because you lob this iron. But the actual weapons that you give him are really quite cool because his latch key is 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, Ren 3, no, wound on 3s, no Ren 2 damage. Fine, it is what it is. But it's the actual runic empowerment ability he's got. Runic empowerment is a prayer that has an answer value of 3 and a 12-inch range. If the chanter is carrying a runic iron, or 18 inches if the chanter is carrying a forged key. Okay, that's fine. So if you got the iron, it's 12 inches. If you got the key, is 18 inches. Fine. If the chanter is carrying a runic iron, he can re-roll the roll. If answered, pick one friendly Fyreslayer unit wholly within the range of visible to them. You add 1 to the wounds rolls made for that unit until the next turn. Okay, so really, really long-winded way of going around it. All right, if you have the latch key that allows you to have an extra melee profile, you get a 18-inch range for his own prayer. Okay, but if you have just the iron, it's a 12-inch re-rollable. Okay, to a unit, they can re-roll 1s to wound. That could be shooting and melee. Okay, so half guard berserkers. So it's a bit of a long-winded way around it. I do apologise, I butchered it, but it's really quite cool. In all fairness, unless your opponent moans at you, I don't see any problem between games as long as you write it down in your list and you make it clear to your opponent at the beginning of the game, I'm going to be using the runic iron on this runesmiter in this game. I'm going to be using the latch key this game, okay? Just make it nice and clear. The only problem is the reroll for the runic iron is only on his own prayer. It's not on any other prayers that he may know, which I wish it would have been on his prayers. It would have made it more viable. For me, I would personally go, pardon me, for the 18-inch wholly within, because it has to be, yeah, wholly within and visible. So 12 inches is quite a long distance because they are on that oval base, but 18 inches does give you that option. But re-rolling is still nice. You're re-rolling a d6, you're re-rolling the 3 up that you need. But it is what it is. But that is it. I do apologise. It has been a little while since I've done one of these videos. Just a lot been going on. And I do hope these Magmadroths do see you through in some future games. I am going to be looking at doing a lofnir list at some point in the future. That's going to be fun. I'm going to have 4 Magmadroths on the field. But anyway, thank you very, very much for watching through. Any experience you've had with these Magmadroths, please comment down below. I'd love to see what you find about them. And anything that I missed, please let me know. As I said, I didn't go over major synergies with other traits or artifacts or anything like that, because I've done videos on the traits and artifacts as well. All be here all day. But anyway, thank you again, and I hope to see you in the next one. You all take care. Thank you again for watching through to the end. As always, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification so you're made aware of when new content comes out. Social media links have been put down below, such as Discord. Come over, chat with some great people. And the merch store and the hobby store are all up and running. So have a little gander, see what you fancy to help support the channel outside of YouTube. But as always, thank you again and take care.